I live down by the river. It gives me life. I put down roots here, 2 kids and a wife. Every day is a blessing, and don't you think I know? Sooner or later, riverbank gonna overflow. The river gives, the river takes away. You can't stop the waters rise, you can only pray. The river gives, oh, the river takes away. Down here by the river.
Hey everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Raw. I'm your host and also the producer of the show. Today I have a special guest. I've been friends with him for 18 years, and I asked him if he would come back and play a show here in New York, and he agreed. I'm so excited to have Bob Malone today. So thank you for coming, Bob. I'm so happy to have you here. Actually, I'm really honored to have you here. I haven't seen you for a long time, and we'll get to that. I want to start off with your childhood and how you became a piano player, like where it all began. Was it your parents? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I was kind of a obnoxiously restless kid. Had a lot of interests. Couldn't sit still. Needed to be doing something all the time. And we had like this this home organ in our house that my dad played for fun after work. And they were like, you should take some lessons. So I took lessons. So I learned like classical organ. And I guess the first year.
How old were you?
9.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And the first year, like not much was going on. And my mom didn't want me to quit. And she was like, she noticed that I liked to play when people were watching me.
Yeah.
I liked to perform. Like even before I played music, I liked to perform. I used to put on these little shows with the kids next door when we were like 6. Anyway, so I loved to perform, but I wasn't that interested in playing the organ. And my mom was like, if you just practice 15 minutes a day, and I'll watch you play. So that worked for me. So I had an audience. Had an audience of one. As long as I had an audience, I was like, oh, I want to play. And so that went on for a few months, and all of a sudden something clicked in, and I could really play. And from that point on, they couldn't tear me away. And then I really wanted a piano, so we got a piano. So I learned to play both instruments.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to go. My lessons were in this like piano and organ store on Route 46 in Totowa, New Jersey, right down the street from Fountains of Wayne, which is the store that the band named themselves after. Just a little New Jersey trivia for you there.
Huh. Okay.
So I used to like get my mom to take me there early, because if I just like started playing, whoever was in there shopping or whatever would crowd around and watch.
Nice.
And so that was my big show every week. Like, I get to my lesson early and, rip on a piano, and people would crowd around. So that's how it all began.
Wow. So did you go to college then for music, or did you study?
I went to Berklee College of Music.
Oh,
Got
okay.
a degree in music.
In Boston, right?
Yeah, in Boston, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was playing in bars by the age of 16,
Wow. Yeah.
And
you play accordion too.
yeah.
You play accordion. What's the different? How different is that? That looks like such a hard instrument to play, because you're doing a couple
weird.
things.
It's a completely different instrument. I mean, I didn't get it till I got it when I was 30. So I never had like kid accordion lessons.
Yeah.
I got it because I wanted to do some I got 2 calls in 1 week for recording sessions on accordion. And I just said yes because I wanted the money. And I had been thinking about buying accordion anyway to do like New Orleans Cajun stuff on, right?
Yeah.
So I figured, oh, that's my excuse. I had a week. So I went out and I bought this accordion. Same one I still have. Same one I play with John Fogerty
Oh,
and my little blue accordion. So I bought it for $100. And I had maybe a day at that point to figure out how to play it before the first session. And that's when I realized that it was not just like strapping on a keyboard and playing,
Yeah.
The keys were smaller than regular piano keys. It was sideways. And then you had to remember to keep pumping, when you were like, so I'd get going pretty good and then I'd forget to do this part and then it would just go silent. So
It did.
I showed up
really
at the
hard.
session
Yeah.
and it was just kind of like, like a Americana tune where I was playing pads under guitar stuff. So it wasn't a hard part, but it took me way too long to do it.
Yeah.
And because I really didn't know. But I got through the sessions.
So I love the story about how when you and I first met, the year and everything. So you can tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah.
Because
well,
I invited you to a show in Staten Island to play. It was my first show. Actually, I think Craig Spector was involved with that.
Craig Spector
Yeah.
hooked us up.
Yeah.
And it was 2003, the year I got married. That's when
Yeah.
we did the show.
And that's amazing, like how you remember that, because I couldn't remember what year it was. And you're like, oh, I got married.
I don't know why I remember that. It's not like I remember a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just remember that one because I remember like everything about that year because it was kind of a big, hairy year for me. So anyway, yeah, I went over there in a snowstorm, right? And we taped the show and Craig came and he
Yes.
set up all these cans. He made the set look great. There you go. Just kind of a blank warehouse, empty kind of set, and he
Yeah. Yeah.
did all this great looking stuff. I was like, damn, who knew you were a writer and you can, decorate.
Would you play a song for us?
Yeah. Storefronts glitter with a million dreams, but there'll be none of that for my baby and me. Stockings are empty and the tree is bare. Songs of joy still fill the air. And we've got the will, but not the means. We ain't never seen times quite so sweet as these. Oh. And it's Christmas, but we got nothing but the ground below, the stars above, and it's Christmas, but we got nothing but love. Oh, it don't matter how bad we're doing, there's still laughter amid the ruins, disarray and debts unpaid. Still the joyous music plays, and with things we want are out of reach, but baby, we've got everything we need. Oh. And it's Christmas, but we got nothing but the ground below, the stars above, and it's Christmas, but we got nothing but love. When the ornaments reappear from the box in the closet where they hide all year, they're just ghosts of a better Christmas past, waiting just to reappear at last. And it's Christmas,
We got nothing but the ground below, the stars above, and it's Christmas. We got nothing, nothing but love, and it's Christmas. We got nothing but the ground below, stars above, and it's Christmas. We got nothing, nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. All right.
So, is that a new Christmas song you wrote, or?
Not new, but it's on my. I wrote it. Yeah, it's on my Christmas record that I put out in 2018.
Yeah.
So it gets like that record gets 1 month of action like every year. So it's only 5 months old, really, in Christmas years.
Yeah. That's funny. I want you to talk about how you got involved with John Fogerty's band, how you met him, where that all started.
I got a call. I had a mutual colleague, friend. They were looking for a keyboard player, and I got this call from this friend of mine. He's like, "Yeah, you're probably gonna get a call from the Fogertys. They're looking for a new keyboard player. I really hounded them to hire you, give you an audition." And so nobody called, and about 6 months went by, and then out of the blue they called, and I went over there. And I auditioned in his garage in the Hollywood Hills. Very large garage, And it was his two kids who are now in the band playing bass and drums, and the guitar tech playing guitar, and his wife who manages him and kind of runs everything.
Oh, wow. Okay. Family affair.
Yeah, she was there, and Bob Fogerty, his brother, who runs the day-to-day operation. They were there, no John, and so I played the first song, and I think they were just doing they hadn't heard of me, but they didn't know who I was, and they wanted somebody they already knew, as people often do. Which I get. I'm like that. Like when I have to call a sub or something, I'm like, I don't want to call somebody I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, they didn't know me, so I think they were just doing it to get get my friend off their back. So anyway, I did the first tune, and then everyone starts to get real excited. And I did a second tune, and Julie, his wife, taped it on her phone, and then she's like, "Hold on a minute." And she ran inside. She was in there for 20 minutes, and she comes back out with John. And so then I played a couple of more songs, and they gave me the gig. And I think the very first month I was in a band, we went to Russia. So went directly to Russia after getting the gig. And so that was 11 years ago. I'm still in the band.
Is that intimidating, to go to a star of such caliber to audition like that? Because I know you went to Ringo Starr's house too, I believe. Yeah,
I did a session for Ringo. That was intimidating.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to play. Yeah, that's a Beatle. That's a whole, in the pantheon of rock stars, there's the Beatles, and then there's everything else.
Yeah.
So it was, and all your famous rockers that came after the Beatles will tell you the same thing, So that was intimidating, but it was good. It was a fun session. I played fine. He liked it. It's cool. The audition was not, it was not scary. I was all hyped up to do it, but I didn't really know what I was going to play, so I learned all of his hits and ended up playing maybe two of the songs. Mostly they asked me to play old 50s rock tunes. It's artists figure you're going to learn their songs, but they kind of want you to like what they know what they know. He grew up on a certain kind of music that he loved. And if I was not interested in that, I wouldn't be the right person for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So I'm going to ask you to play another song for us.
All right, cool.
people, people everywhere. But the cold windows to me like there's no one there. It ain't personal if I don't know your face. Feel a certain distance from the whole human race. You can disconnect me from this time and place. I feel a certain distance from the whole human race. Little girl, you want to take me in, yeah. Put that cage around me, and I won't never say I know you love me, but your love can never be. 'Cause I'll be tired of you before you're tired of me. It ain't personal if I don't know your face. I feel a certain distance from the whole human race. You can disconnect me from this time and place. I feel a certain distance from the whole human race. Oh, yeah. Wish you could spare me some. It seems like the whole world's problem just a distant hum. I appreciate your pain, baby, I really do. But I can't hear your wounds turning up so on you. It ain't personal if I don't know your face. I feel a certain distance from the whole human race. You can disconnect me from this time and place. I feel a certain distance from the whole human race. All right. Yeah! I finished the last song for that record the day everything shut down in March 2020. I was actually in the studio cutting the last tune for that record.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
And I would just basically sat on it for the year because I didn't want to put it out that year. So it ended up coming out in 2021.
Yeah, such beautiful songs, and thank God, it tamed down a little bit, and you're able to come back out, because that must have been awful. I know a lot of musicians that were struggling around that time to make ends meet.
Yeah,
And I know you did some performances on Stage It, which was great. You came to our homes, which was really cool.
I'm doing one on the 11th. I don't know if it airs before.
Is that your Christmas one, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what's next for you? I mean, you're touring. You have so much on your plate. You're touring with John Fogerty. You're touring with your own band. is I know that keeps you super busy. Is there anything, you personally want to do that's on your list?
I want to record some new stuff, and I've got tour dates next year. I'm off for the rest of the year,
Oh, good. Good.
and
Yeah.
I'm just working on some things. I actually I had a my junior high band director was this incredibly talented guy. Like, I don't know how he ended up really teaching junior high music to us kids in my little school. Like, looking back, I didn't know at the time, but anyway, he was the first person I ever met that like wrote music, and he wrote this music that we did a show, like a multimedia thing, and it was just great. It really, I was probably 12 or whatever,
Mm,
and it really shaped me as a musician. This
yeah.
music that he wrote, like, just the time in which it happened, and it was quite good, And so I had like the handwritten scores from that. I kept them all these years, and they were in my parents' like attic, and then so I got a hold of them a few years ago, and I started like going through it with the idea that maybe I'd record this stuff, and I kept trying to get a hold of him to see, to talk to him. I hadn't talked to the guy in, since 1979, or
Oh, wow.
1980 was my last year of junior high. So I hadn't seen him, for ages. He retired, but he was not online at all. He was like not findable. I could not find him.
Oh, wow.
So, and I was kind of bummed, but I was like, working for this and doing some orchestration for it because all I had was like the piano score. I didn't really have all the part. Anyway, and then out of the blue, I get a notice from somebody that he had died in 20,
Oh.
2020.
Oh.
So I never was able to talk to him, but next year I want to record that stuff and debut it somewhere in New
Oh,
Jersey.
wow.
You know,
Wow.
it deserves to be heard. It's really great stuff, and it never got heard by anybody except us kids and whoever came to that concert. You know. Anyway,
Wow. That's
I'm
very
gonna do,
sentimental.
I'm gonna work on
Sweet.
that. Yeah, it's sentimental to me. Maybe it's not as good as I think it is, but it's so embedded in my. I think it is, but it's so embedded in my formative being as a musician. Like, I can't overestimate how much of an impact it had. Like, I'd never met somebody who could do that, like, in person. And
Yeah.
anyway, that's
Well,
that's something I want to work on next year. Now
well,
I've publicly said it. I have to
you
commit.
have to do it.
I have
You
to
know what?
actually finish it now. Yeah,
But I think whatever it is, Bob, you'll make it beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to thank you for your time, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing you in April. Perform at Hub 17 and being in New York. I know you're doing a short tour in the springtime,
yeah.
and yeah, I can't wait. And that's pretty much it. And let us know with your new CDs whenever you release one. I'm on your fan page, and I just want you to know I'm a fan. So
Good.
yeah,
Hence
and
the
and
name.
yeah, that's the name. And I've been for such a long time. And you're one of a kind. You really are.
Oh, thank you.
So until then, I have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
We'll be looking forward to your shows on Stage It that you're doing next week. Next week,
Yeah,
and
yeah, next Sunday. This coming
yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
I'll probably do a New Year's one too.
Oh, cool. Oh, very
I
good.
always hated playing New Year's, and I quit playing, except for like if I really liked the gig, I'd take a New Year's gig. So I've
Yeah,
done very few over the last like 20 years, basically,
yeah,
and all of them have been great. Before
yeah,
that, they were like it was you just felt like you had to play on New Year's. Anyway, so
yeah.
for the last 3 years in a row, well, COVID year, obviously there were no gigs, so that's when I did one at home, and I loved it. Like, people tuned in, they gave me money, I made money, I didn't have to go
Yay!
out and do a New Year's gig. I mean, it was great.
It's good.
I loved it. So now it's an annual thing, unless the occasional cool New Year's gig that I really want to do crops up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we will talk to you very soon. Again, thank you so much and have a wonderful holiday. And until then, we'll see you then.
Yeah, same to you. Thanks for having me on.
All right,
And I'll
Bob.
see you in April.
Carrie, she can't sleep at night, tosses and turns till the morning light. The world's ugly, the world's not fair. She can't breathe through the heat in the air. Oh. And it's so hard to see, I know, when you finally run out of hope. But there's good people everywhere. There's good people everywhere. Oh, there's good people everywhere. When it seems like someone's always getting in your face, shooting up the place, making you lose your faith in the human race. Just remember, there's good people everywhere. Harriet, she wants to save the world. She tries hard, but she's just one girl. Now a turn needs to be saved from a world going up in flames. You're feeling lost and afraid, I know. But believe me, you're not alone. 'Cause there's good people everywhere. There's good people everywhere. There's good people everywhere. When it seems like someone's always getting in your face, shooting up the place, making you lose your faith in the human race. Just remember, there's good people everywhere. It'll take you by surprise. In a stranger's eyes, they say it's in short supply, but it's out there. 'Cause there's good people